I'm Kathy Parker. Welcome to this presentation on predictive analytics. So some of you are probably wondering what's so exciting about predictive analytics. Well, what if I told you that a leading retailer could predict when a woman was pregnant, in some cases before she'd even told her friends and family? So some of you have probably heard this story, and others are probably really disturbed by the idea. But in fact, Target has created a fairly accurate algorithm to determine when a woman, or to predict when a woman's pregnant. This is based on when a woman buys specific items in relation or proximity to buying other specific items. This is an example of predictive analytics, which is defined as the practice of extracting existing data to uncover patterns that can be then used to predict future behavior. So research shows that predictive analytics is creating a competitive advantage because it can generate increases in revenue as well as drive decreases to costs. We're going to start by looking at a few case studies of companies that have seen significant growth in revenue as a result of predictive analytics. Then we're going to look at then we're going to move on to some case studies of companies that are cutting costs as a result. So let's start by talking about these companies that have seen significant boosts to sales, and in some cases have created entirely new revenue streams based on this data. A 2013 Forbes article covered two of these companies. The first is Hickory Farms. Hickory Farms is a retailer that specializes in gift baskets. Most everyone has received a Hickory Farms gift basket in their life. Hickory Farms wanted to understand the customer experience their users were getting from their site. They wanted to look at things like search history to get a better understanding of those customers. With this data, they were actually able to not only improve the customer experience of their site, but they also uncovered an entirely new market, or an entirely new untapped market for new products that weren't currently sold in the retailer stores. This resulted in $600,000 in incremental sales during one holiday season. Another company covered in the same article was NFLshop.com. NFLshop.com wanted to use predictive analytics to gain insights into its female shoppers. What they found was that their female shoppers were very dissatisfied with the site and the offerings on the site. NFLshop.com had wrongly assumed that its female customers weren't shopping for themselves, but were looking for items for the men in their life. When in fact, these days, there are quite a few female football fans, myself included, and as any other female football fans knows, the options for us are very limited. So NFL Shop took this data and they launched both a new product line and an ad campaign geared towards women. This resulted in a 25% year-over-year increase to sales, as you can see highlighted in this infographic. Another company that was highlighted in a customer strategist article in 2013 is AAA. AAA has implemented a new predictive analytics platform across all of their locations. The platform was initially put in place in order to better understand its customers and also optimize marketing spend by looking at things like which customers would be most likely to be receptive to certain offerings. This enabled them to not only understand their members better, but to also interact with their customers in a more influential way so that they could provide customized offerings and targeted promotions to those customers. These initiatives have resulted in up to 42% growth in sales among AAA clubs. So now that we've looked at how some of these companies have successfully increased revenues, let's look at those companies that are decreasing costs. In a 2013 Wall Street Journal article, they've discussed how UPS is saving millions of dollars on an annual basis, and UPS is a leader in predictive analytics. I would guess they're saving a lot more than that. But UPS installs sensors on every single truck in their fleet, and these sensors can be used to monitor everything from speed to location to fuel efficiency. And this data is downloaded on a daily basis and analyzed in order to further optimize routes for not only fuel efficiency, but also to prevent any potential delays. This program has been so successful that UPS has cut fuel consumption by 8 million gallons and shortened its routes by 85 million miles. This was in 2011 alone, so you can get an idea of how much money they're actually saving on an annual basis. Another company that was covered in the same article is Caesars Entertainment. Caesars is using predictive analytics to cut healthcare costs. Caesars has access to thousands of health insurance data points on all of its employees and family members. They use this data to look at things like how employees are utilizing emergency services as well as other medical services. They can also look at things like if an employee is selecting generic versus brand name drugs. This data enabled them to discover a trend in employees in certain locations that were utilizing more expensive options for emergency care. They took preventative action by promoting less expensive alternatives to these employees, and this has resulted in a total savings of $4.5 million. Lastly, Intel, which was reviewed in an Information Week article from 2013, Intel is in the process of rolling out a predictive analytics platform. This platform is aimed at cutting costs by speeding up manufacturing times. So Intel is analyzing all the data on its, all the multiple tests that are run on each one of its chips. And this data has been analyzed to create a predictive model. The predictive model is aimed at cutting down the testing requirements on chips by predicting which chips will require additional tests or have potential problems. This way, Intel doesn't have to run every single test on every single chip. This has been so successful that in just the test run of this model, on one product line, Intel's already saved $3 million in manufacturing costs, and they expect to save an additional $30 million once this is rolled out across all their lines. So, as you can see, based on these data and statistics, predictive analytics is providing a competitive advantage because it does generate increases in revenue and decreases in cost. We've seen how companies like Hickory Farms and AAA have boosted sales significantly. Likewise, other companies have clearly shown the ability to better manage costs. Keeping these points in mind, you can see how beneficial rolling out a predictive analytics platform to manage our own marketing performance would be. So please keep an eye out for future information about these initiatives. Thank you.